we're back with some Rev Says Desu. Gonna go ahead and give them. It looks like the Japanese officials are taking action against Assassin's Creed Shadows. It's about time, considering that they're trying to erase their culture. Let's see what Rev has to say. If you like what he has to say,
hey, what's up, guys? Rick here.
Give him a like and
so
sub.
It must be a
give
day
me a
that
like
ends in
and sub.
Y because
like
we have
what I
another
have to say.
round of bad news for Ubisoft. So let's start off here with this report from Reuters that states Ubisoft reports 52% drop in Q3 net bookings in line with guidance. Now, given the entire fiscal year for Ubisoft, that's not too surprising with AAA flop after AAA flop. However, things are so bad right now, and Ubisoft is so desperate to hang on to its investors that for Q4, they are not ensuring a profit anymore. They're just trying to ensure shareholders that they'll break even. That's how...
Guys, we're not going to make a profit so that you can break even. I know you invested in us to make money, but hear me out. Money's not everything.
How bad things are right now at Ubisoft. They can't even guarantee a profit. All they're trying to do is tread water. That is really bad. Now, we also know that there is a Hail Mary attempt to save this company because their value right now is about just over $1 billion. In fact, many people say the IPs they own are more valuable than the company itself. And one of those IPs...
Okay, to be fair, their IPs worth a lot. There's been a lot of good games they've pumped out over the years, but also it's been steadily declining in quality, and people have lost much faith in Ubisoft, and rightfully so.
Is, of course, Assassin's Creed. Now, this is their home run. This is their Hail Mary pass right here. Assassin's Creed Shadows releases on March 20th, and they need this to not only succeed, but succeed very well.
That's coming up. That means that there's going to be a lot of videos to watch about it. Don't worry, I'm not going to make you guys sit through all those. We'll watch one, maybe two a week, and I'll try to keep it down.
Well, like we're talking somewhere around 10 million units sold is what some people are saying is a successful launch of this game, enough to basically keep the lights on over at Ubisoft. Now, predictably, I'm reporting today because there's even more controversy involving this game. Once again, more offensive things that are angering people.
I thought this was about stuff they already did finally seeing the light of day in Japan and them doing something about it. There's more things that they've done since a few days ago when we reacted to a video.
Over in Japan, because it appears that the people who are responsible for this game are not taking their feelings into consideration, and they're making some more offensive aspects of their game known to the public to the ire of Japanese gamers. Now, where do we begin? Well, we have to look at the desperate campaign by Assassin's Creed Shadows and Ubisoft over the past couple of weeks. Recently, as you can see from this IGN article, they said this: Assassin's Creed Shadows players who largely ignore one of the dual protagonists won't be missing out much. So that is a very desperate measure. This entire game was formulated around Yasuke. Of course, there are dual protagonists in this game with Naoe, but Yasuke was always the main focus until very recently. We even saw some examples of banners on their website completely removing Yasuke 100% and focusing solely on Naoe. So,
you know, gender or racial equality, very, very important over at Ubisoft.
Where is this coming from? Well, there was an interview with Screen Rant where one of their higher-ups over at Assassin's Creed Shadows essentially said you can play 80 or 90% of the game while playing just as one of these two protagonists. Again, a very desperate measure. They're trying to say, look, if you hate literally half of this game's foundation, that's okay, because you can pretty much get through most of the gameplay while ignoring Yasuke. What a change up from, you know, the legendary samurai that you have to love to, well, he's basically a background character and you can ignore him as much as you want for about 90% of the game. But of course, you have to play him at some level to complete this game. Now, there's even some more interesting news coming out regarding this game. So you can...
Well, I imagine they funnel you into using both of them at some point just so you can try them both out and decide which one you like most. But yeah, if you play as Yasuke, you have to play as Yahweh if you want to climb the tower to unlock the map. You know, the Ubisoft tower, the thing they put in all their games because they keep making the same game over and over and over. Yeah, to climb that, you have to use Yahweh because she has the grappling hook and Yasuke can't get up there. So even if you only want to play as Yasuke, you can't. And every time you switch characters, there's a loading screen. You have to go into the menu, go to the switch character section, wait for them to load into the exact same place they were standing, and then climb the tower. And then whenever you're done, you have to go back into the screen, change character, and then wait through another loading screen.
You can see from Insider Gaming here, exclusive. Ubisoft is confident on releasing Assassin's Creed Shadows on March 20th, 2025. That's a little alarming, right? It's like almost shows insecurity. Like, why are they like coming out and saying, "Don't worry, we'll release it on time this go around"? Like, yeah, you're supposed to be like honoring your word here. But some people rumored at a possible additional delay. There's no proof of that yet, but this is a little bit of an odd statement coming out of Ubisoft. Now, one of the reasons they say they're so confident about this is because of the pre-order sales. So, at the time of writing,
Ooh,
Shadows currently
I
has around
guarantee you that
300,000
no, it's not.
pre-orders, said sources, and Odyssey's
No.
day one player numbers were between 400 to 450,000, a gap of around 100 to 150,000 that needs to be made up over the next 4 weeks. So there is a report out there that Shadows has about 300,000 pre-orders, which, again, you have to view this in the context of what this franchise is and how many units they're going to have to sell to turn a profit and to try.
And also, I'm going to need to see actual proof of that, not just a journalist's word that they sold that many.
Keep things going for Ubisoft. Like, make no mistake, if this game underperforms, Ubisoft is cooked. So 300,000 pre-orders is not exactly setting the world on fire, and the fact that there is a pretty big gap between that and Odyssey, which was a success, isn't the most faith-inducing set of facts here.
Yeah, Odyssey also was not successful.
But you can see right now, right? Looking at this data, if Shadows continues the same trajectory as Odyssey throughout launch, it's estimated the game could sell approximately 3.5 million units in its first month. Valhalla, which was the series' most successful Assassin's Creed game, had some 8 million players in its first month, with more than 65% being attributed to past generation consoles at the time. So Assassin's Creed Shadows is in a very tough spot right now with Ubisoft.
Yeah, but Valhalla was the first big game they put out that was negatively received. People were not used to Ubisoft making garbage Assassin's Creed. They are now. They have no faith in Ubisoft at this point. They still had faith during Valhalla. Everyone played it. Most people didn't like it. And that's going to reflect in Shadows.
Software, even 3.5 million units in the first month, it's not enough.
Ooh, Dragon Ball.
They have to keep going, and oddly enough, that 3.5 million units in the first month was kind of close to what the predictions were for some other games in the field, but for Creed, they got to do a lot more than that, and there's some other news coming out that is quite concerning to say the least. So, Assassin's Creed today, just hours before recording, we're showing this off on their Twitter account, and the timing of this couldn't be worse. So it's the environmental destruction preview here, right? They're showing off these destructible environments, including shrines in the game that are based on real-life Japanese shrines. And that is a very hot topic in Japan, not just now, but historically.
Oh, that stuff is sacred. They're shrines for a reason. You don't just go up and kick them over or bash them with a mace. What are you thinking? Especially if you're doing it as Yahweh. Oh, like, can they not, like, take their foot out of their mouth for, like, 1 month, 1 week, one possible day?
When it comes to video games and the shrines being represented in them, and whether or not you can destroy or deface them in-game. We see this headline from Bounding into Comics. After learning that Assassin's Creed Shadows allows players to trash real-world Japanese Shinto shrine, current caretakers vow to take appropriate action against Ubisoft. So looking at the article here, we're talking about clips like this that went viral on YouTube and X as well, where players were showing that through Yasuke in particular, you could go to these Japanese shrines based on real-life counterparts and destroy them. And why is that such a big deal? Well, it's considered highly offensive. And the fact that there's certain things in this game that are not something you can destroy, but the shrines are, is rubbing a lot of Japanese gamers the wrong way. But as we can see...
Yeah, it'd be different if you could actually destroy anything. But, like, you can't destroy a lot of stuff, but you can destroy sacred shrines?
Here, notably, this instance of player freedom came as a particular shock to the shrine's aforementioned caretakers, who in response to being asked about the situation by Japanese news outlet Sankai Shimbun, declared, "We will take appropriate action." Further, when pressed as to whether or not they had been contacted by Ubisoft regarding the site's location in the game, they recalled, "No, if there had been, we would have refused."
Well,
so
that's why they didn't contact them.
This is a
Obviously,
very bad look. For
if they're going to say no, just go ahead and do it anyway. It doesn't matter.
Ubisoft, and people fall back on the player decision. Of course, you only destroy the shrine in-game if you want to, but still, a lot of Japanese gamers, based on their own sensibilities around the subject, they don't even want that to be an option. And with the way that Assassin's Creed Shadows has made mistake after mistake and made many insensitive things, people don't have as much tolerance, okay? If this was the only controversy facing Ubisoft with this game, I think it would blow over and be viewed very differently and viewed much more lightly by people. But nobody has sympathy for Ubisoft because they have constantly proven over and over again that they're insensitive towards the history and the Japanese culture they claim to respect so much. And this has gotten a lot of attention on Japanese social media. You can see this post right here with 11,000 likes, translated, of course, saying, regarding the shrine destruction issue in Assassin's Creed, it has been confirmed that not only the Shooting Shield Heishi Shrine, but also the Association of Shinto Shrines is involved in responding. Wow, this could seriously become an international issue.
Sounds like
and
it already is.
We also have this person pointing out an example of something very similar happening to another game. So saying this, Association of Shinto Shrines was involved with a game being paused. Yashihiro ni Hoheto. It had personified shrine characters. However, complaints from the association led to its development being canceled. So we have an example of a game trying to personify these shrines getting canceled as a result of complaints from this Shinto Shrine Association.
Oh, that's sad. That looks like a cute
That is
game.
something that Ubisoft is now dealing with. And the repercussions of that is not something that's going to really probably happen
And it looks
internationally,
respectful
but
to the shrines,
something
at
could
least.
happen in Japan. We'll have to wait and see if they go further with this. But apparently there is some action in motion from these related parties. Now, of course, there's more, right? So there's another tweet flying around on Japanese social media, again translated, saying, Assassin's Creed Shadows is sure to infuriate the Royal Household Agency. Commercial use of the Emperor's Tomb, a system that allows players to rob the Emperor's Tomb. Commercial use of the Chrysanthemum Crest. I wonder if this will infuriate people other than the Imperial Household Agency. So what they're talking about here is some examples of a tomb from the Japanese imperial family that apparently you can loot armor sets from. And this is something that is considered quite offensive. In fact...
Grave robbing. Why didn't you say so? I'm pre-ordering today.
There is some...
I'm not. I've never played an Assassin's Creed, and I never plan to play an Assassin's Creed. And if I do, it's definitely not going to be this one.
Claims out there that this might actually violate some laws in Japan that not only cover the destruction of the real-life counterparts, but also this includes depictions of the imperial family in media. So technically, they might actually be breaking Japanese law as a result of this in-game mechanic. Again, whether the punishment is received or not, we don't know, but it's just another example of something that seems insensitive to Japanese culture that, again, they claim to respect so much over at Ubisoft. Now, while Assassin's Creed Shadows and Ubisoft is doing everything in their power to downplay Yasuke, to put him in the background and to make gamers feel like you don't have to go with this person that they were trying so hard to push for nearly a year now. There's a counterpart that is pushing Yasuke very hard. This is a game that has been recently put onto Steam called...
Oh, yeah, I saw this. Clownfish TV reacted to this, and there's nothing that Assassin's Creed can do about it because Yasuke is a real person in history, and you can't trademark a real person.
The Yasuke Simulator, made by historically accurate developers. You can see in the background, this game is trying its best.
Do you think they did that on
footsteps.
purpose, calling themselves historically accurate developers? As a burn. Oh, that is ballsy.
The brave footsteps of Ubisoft and create a Yasuke.
Wait, it's coming out March
historically
20th?
accurate.
The simulator's coming out March 20th? Oh, I hope it does. There's no way it does better than Assassin's Creed Shadows. Unless the word gets out.
Who drives cars, shoots guns, runs over everyone. It is a very wild
driving
game
a car.
being produced here, and a lot of people are rallying behind this. It's expected to release on March 20th of 2025, which is obviously the same day as Assassin's Creed Shadows, and that is very funny. So about this game, right? You play as Yasuke, embrace your unique heritage as you navigate feudal Japan in a fight for survival and dignity. Master epic samurai combat, wield your...
This is genius. Whoever made this is genius, and having it come out the same day.
Your katana with style, precision, and flair, slashing through waves of adversaries. Unleash your inner warrior, tap into your ancestral power to perform devastating moves and awaken the latent strength that transcends time. Find secret gear across the map. The map's full of secret gear you can find and use against your enemies. Historically accurate. The Yasuke Simulator team has done its research and went above and beyond to provide a totally historically accurate depiction.
That is absolutely burning Assassin's Creed.
Of feudal Japan with Yasuke, the samurai. And you know, they're doing a very good job. They're definitely following in the footsteps of Ubisoft here. Thomas Lockley would be very proud of this depiction. And
just Yasuke driving a car and wielding a bazooka is getting me, man.
As you can see, I mean, just look at this stuff. I just smell historical accuracy, and I really appreciate what they're doing here. But of course, this is just a giant meme meant to disrupt what's going on with Assassin's Creed Shadows. And again, none of this would happen if Assassin's Creed Shadows just did their job and weren't making so many mistakes. And people are making so many posts in the community hub here saying people's jobs are at stake at Ubisoft. I like steak too, buddy. Will this game support the LGBT? Just got a new LG 8K TV and want to play the game on it. Will the devs support my gaming choices? And there's a lot of other funny examples on here about not trying to miss proper pronouns and gender options here, and people want to be attack helicopters and be non-binary, B-U-Y, binary there, but yeah. So looking at the results here, right now, Yasuke Simulator is 1,300 overall.
They have 2,000 people following them and 1,300 people wish listing. I'm going to wish list this game whenever we're done here.
In wish lists, and people are spamming this in their
In
wish
fact,
list.
I'm gonna do that now.
Trying to boost this game is basically a giant meme, a giant middle finger to Ubisoft, and I think it's pretty funny. This has actually risen. It was like around 3,000 in terms of wish lists like 2 days ago, so it's jumped from that to 1,300. So hey, if you want to make something funny happen, go ahead and wish list this game and help meme on Ubisoft and Assassin's Creed Shadows. But anyways, that's going to do it for this video and the latest update on Assassin's Creed Shadows and Ubisoft. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoy the video, and I'll see you next time.
Thanks, Rev. That was not only funny and fantastic and informative, but also now I have a new game to wish list and kind of want to play it on stream, depending on how much it's going to be. There's only so much I'm willing to spend on making a joke. All right, well, I'm going to give him a like. Go ahead and give him a subscribe if you love Rev. This is his Rev channel, not his Rev says Desu channel. Let's be very clear. Go ahead and give me a like and sub if you liked what you saw. Hope you enjoyed my also buttery smooth voice. It's early in the morning, so I'm keeping it very calm and very casual. Thanks for joining me on this wild and wacky ride. Can't wait for I assume, tomorrow when another video will come out with something that Ubisoft did wrong. Hope you join me for that one too. Love you. Bye. Mwah.